Welcome to Crosspointe.
Welcome to Crosspointe.
Welcome to Crosspointe.
We are an inclusive faith community
seeking to live out the loving, just, and generous way of Jesus.
We are participants in a long tradition
that's less concerned with doctrines and dogma that demand total agreement,
but a life to be lived, enjoyed, and given away to others.
What unites us is a growing awareness that life is precious.
That we are made by love in order to love.
This community is comprised of and affirms the entire human family.
Regardless of race, age, creed,
physical abilities, marital or economic status,
gender identity, or sexual orientation.
So, if you're curious and have come to see,
if you are tired and have come to rest,
if you are grateful and have come to share,
if you are wounded and have come to heal,
if you're joyful and have come to celebrate,
if you are uprooted and have come to belong,
welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding.
Okay, man, that's a lot to remember in one fell swoop.
You got it, girl.
Okay.
I think the main thing right now is to just hit all the chords. Okay, yeah. All right.
So after 8th grade, my mom, dad, and younger siblings, we moved across the Bay Area to a tiny duplex at the seminary where my dad was attending school for getting his master's in church music. And the work my dad found during that time was at a small Baptist church about an hour away. It had all the Baptist-y things: 2 Sunday morning services, one that started at 8 a.m., and a Sunday school hour, and a really good Baptist Sunday evening service. And not going to church, it wasn't an option for my family. And since we didn't want to drive 2 cars, that meant that every Sunday we had to leave our house at 6 a.m. in order to get to church in enough time for my dad to have everything ready before the first service started. And rather than driving 4 hours back and forth on Sundays, church members took turns hosting us in their homes on Sundays, every single Sunday, for 18 months. And some hosts did better than others, entertaining a 14, 11, 8, and 5-year-old for multiple hours, when I'm sure all they really wanted to do was to take a nap. They were long afternoons for us and really for our hosts, I'm sure. And us kids really preferred some homes over others. One house had a pool, one had a pool table. Some people expected impeccable manners from us, or they wanted to sit and talk to us all afternoon. But others had kids close to our age, which was either fun or terrible. Some just fed us and then left us alone. But most of the time, it just really felt like we spent Sunday afternoons with a rotating cast of strangers. The best Sundays were spent at Mr. and Mrs. Bradley's house. They were this older couple who gave off really friendly grandparent vibes, and we always felt at home with them. Theirs was a place where we felt the freedom to relax and where being on our best behavior just meant being ourselves, which was really rare for pastors' kids. And it also meant that they could be themselves with us. And the Bradleys talked to us like real people, not just like kids. And they knew how to listen. They were generous with their home and with their things and with their care and acceptance of us. And it sometimes felt like generosity was kind of nourishment for them. Now, as a family of a minister of music who was also a student, we didn't have much money, especially not to spare for extras like school clothes. And the Bradleys seemed to understand that too, but they never made us feel like we were a charity case. One Sunday afternoon, a couple of weeks before the school year started, Mr. Bradley asked if we were ready to start the school year. And he casually said something like, "Seems like a new year calls for some new clothes. What if we go shopping?" And so before we knew it, we were at the local Walmart, we were filling up a cart. And the 4 of us started school that year in completely new outfits. And for once, we didn't stand out because of what we looked like. And the next time we were at the Bradley's house, they wanted to know all about our first day of school, not just how we looked, but how we felt. And they never mentioned it, and we didn't realize it until much later, but their generosity had a big hand in helping that school year get off to a really good start. Now, eventually, my dad graduated from seminary. He got a job across the country in rural Tennessee, and it was a big change from the Bay Area of California, to say the least. And when we left, my brother and our dad and I, we drove our old car and a U-Haul and our pet bunny across the states while my mom and my younger siblings, they flew. Super long flight, but an even longer drive. But both groups of us had brand new Game Boys to make the time go by faster. Courtesy of course, by Mr. and Mrs. Bradley. They saw us. They seemed to always know what we needed. Not just stuff, but belonging. And they offered it quietly, freely, without shame, expectation, or requirements. Still today, when I think of generosity, I think of Mr. and Mrs. Bradley. They had a way of giving that made it feel like we were doing them a favor. They were the incarnation of generosity. Incarnation, embodiment. It's what the writer of John said happened when God came down and moved into the neighborhood. Jesus, God's loving spirit embodied in our midst, offered quietly, freely, without shame, expectation, or requirement. I think you probably would have felt right at home on a Sunday afternoon at the Bradleys.
that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come, O King of David, come, yeah, and open wide our heavenly home. Make safe for us the heavenward road, and bar the way to death's abode. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come, O King of nations, blind and won the hearts of all mankind. Beat all our sad divisions cease, and be yourself our King of peace. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Shall come to thee, O Israel.
Merry Christmas, everybody. When I was about 8 years old, my brother and we built a blanket fort. And if you don't know what that is, you just take the sheets and blanket off of your bed and tuck the corners between the mattresses and in drawers and on the closet handles and create a tent. You create your own little world. So we had one of these going, and my dad walked in. And I didn't have any sense of fear that we were in trouble. We made these sometimes. But it was very clear to me it was going to be time to disassemble it and make our beds. But right as that thought came to my mind, he did something I remembered for the rest of my life. He got down on his hands and knees and crawled in to the blanket fort. And I remember being so excited to show him all the little chambers and the little fold in the sheet that was the kitchen sink. I gave him a tour. And of course, didn't have the vocabulary for it back then, but he sort of condescended himself and validated and dignified our little creation. Stuck with me, like I said, for the rest of my life. It even shaped how I parented. Sometimes love is just getting down on the floor. So I thought for this Christmas, I'd change things up for our the kid portion of the service and invite parents and kids to make blanket forts, and then I would come to them and talk to them about Christmas. And I think you'll love what we came up with.
So this is my fort.
This is nice. Did you have fun making it?
Yeah.
Did everything go smoothly and everybody got along?
No. This has to go in here.
Okay, I'll follow you. I think I'm probably gonna all right. Let's not overthink it. All right. How'd I do? This is amazing.
These are my little snackies.
Okay.
And these are my lights. Come on.
Oh, I hit my head.
Are you okay?
I think I'll be okay, yes.
Have a big table to hold up the sheet.
Is that a Christmas shark?
No, that's a shark. That's not Christmas shark.
Okay. Do sharks do Christmas? No?
No hands, no hands.
You gotta have hands for Christmas. How else could you do presents?
And this is a Gigantosaurus.
Yep. Very cool. Ooh, are you excited about Christmas when it gets here?
Yeah.
Why are you excited about Christmas?
Because you get a lot of presents. Presents? The presents. The presents.
What is your favorite part of Christmas?
Presents. And I like sharing.
You like presents and sharing. So you like to get and then you like to give. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. It's good to have both of those channels open. What are the big gifts that this year that guys your age are really hoping to get?
Money.
Money is a really hot gift every year.
I think Santa's gonna come.
He is?
Yeah, to bring toys to everyone, including me.
What about me? Good. Are you pretty excited for Christmas?
Yeah, I like toys.
What do you hope that you get for a present?
Lots of Mario Lego stuff.
What are you asking for Christmas?
A puppy.
That's a big ask.
But I want my own puppy. We already have a dog, but I want my own puppy. I want a puppy.
Gotcha. And you're aware that a puppy is a dog?
Well, a puppy is a young dog. A dog is an old dog. Hope I get a glow truck.
A glow truck?
Yeah, a glow track.
Track.
Yeah, it comes with section Solomon lighting.
Okay. Well, I hope it has all of those components, whatever they are, in the box with it.
I'm hoping I get this robot that you can control, and if you speak into it, that's what the robot says. And I also want a puppy.
I heard this earlier from somebody else in your family.
I want my own puppy.
She didn't feel like her chances of getting a puppy were very good. Do you think you're gonna get one?
Oh, I'm gonna get one.
Do you know the reindeers' names?
Cupid.
Cupid?
Yeah.
What's another one?
Branson.
Branson? Franson. Okay. Rudolph and...
Glassy. There's not Glassy, I just made that.
Oh.
Massey, Dasher, Prancer, Rudolph, what is the other names?
Do you know the name of Santa's 8 puppies that pull his sleigh?
Puppies?
I bet you would have an easier time naming dinosaurs.
Velociraptor.
That's one.
Diplodocus, Josephus Rex, Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus.
That's good. Dimetrodon. That's not actually a dinosaur.
It is a dog.
It isn't. I'm gonna have to call you on that one. Sorry.
one.
No, it's not.
This one.
What do you think parents want for Christmas this year?
Inappropriate games.
What is it that makes a game inappropriate?
That's just bad words on the cards or on the box.
Uh-huh. Have you seen one of these games?
Yes.
Have you seen one of these games in your house?
Yes.
Would you be willing to show me where these games are in your house?
Thank you.
What are some presents parents want to get?
Mommy wants an umbrella.
And what does Dad want for Christmas?
Nothing.
He doesn't want anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, dads famously do not want gifts on Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, but moms do.
Moms do. They do. Do you know any Christmas songs?
Jingle bells.
How's that one go?
Good.
It goes good?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me what the meaning of Christmas is?
To celebrate Jesus' birthday. Jesus' birthday.
Will you please come back and teach me about Christmas?
Okay.
Aw.
You stepped on him.
Well, whose birthday is Christmas?
My birthday.
Your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What is the meaning of Christmas? What is Christmas actually about?
It's actually about, well, like, Jesus was born on Christmas Day, and then we celebrate for him. That's what Christmas is mainly about.
Have you ever heard about Christmas being a birthday?
Yeah, my two friends at school have a birthday in December.
Is one of your friends Jesus by chance?
No.
What about baby Jesus? Do you know anything about baby Jesus?
Mommy's named Mary.
Yes.
Her dad is named God.
Yes. Oh, I
This
see.
is Jesus, the baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, little baby Jesus in a manger. What else does Christmas mean?
Care that we show affect you to our friends and our family. Being with my family.
You want to do what?
I go back my family.
Okay. Do you want me to wait here? What do you think people need to hear right now, especially during Christmas time?
Like joy, happiness.
Why is that so difficult right now? Joy and happiness and cheer. What makes that so difficult?
Because there are a lot of bad things happening, and war, and so some people who have losses, they're going through hard times.
Mm-hmm. What's the trick to being kind to people who are unkind?
I think I wouldn't listen to them, and I'd try to be kind anyways.
You would ignore their unkindness and just kind of stay in your lane.
Yeah, and I'd understand that they probably have something else going on.
It's hard to be kind sometimes, though, to unkind people. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
So what's the trick to that?
Deal with it and be kind, and eventually they'll come through.
Oh yeah? You think kindness will win out?
And then sometimes it doesn't win out, and we try to get like everybody who wants to do it to be kind.
I see. So just surround yourself with the people who are trying to get it right, and that's enough, huh? And what does it mean to love people?
Hugs.
Hugs?
Kisses.
Yes.
That's all I know.
Hugs and kisses. That's plenty.
Yeah. Better be good. You better not lie. You better not cry. Santa's on a list. Who's naughty or nice? Santa's coming to town.
So you better not lie. You better not cry. Santa's on a list.
Who's naughty or nice?
Who's naughty or nice? Santa.
Coming to town.
Coming to town. Yeah, I know that one.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Can you get me a puppy?
It's like
Valley low. I can. Yeah, that's good.
You feel good?
Yeah.
All right.
And we're done. I'm still trying to figure out my.
Oh, you sound great.
You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be a mountain when you're feeling valley low. I can be a street light showing you the way home. You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day's done. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seed. Plant a little happiness, let the roots run deep. If it's love that we give, then it's love that we reap. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seed. Yeah, I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. The door is always open, your picture's on my wall. Everyone's a little broken, and everyone belongs. Yeah, everyone belongs. I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. And bring us back together when the day is done.
I too want a house with a crowded table. I love that song. My one gripe is that it never mentions the kitchen, where the holy labor of feeding others begins, where I'm hiding at any gathering, where with the help of fire and water, transformation happens. When I think of the Word made flesh, of God come down in human form, of Emmanuel, God with us in our fragile humanity, I think of the Jesus who liked to eat, who adored figs and got grumpy when the tree declined to give them to him, who showed up at table after table, enjoying meals with those who liked him as well as those who didn't, who after his resurrection grilled fish and baked bread on an open fire for his friends. What could be more fleshy, more human, than a God who delights in a good meal and who shows up for his beloveds by feeding them? Some of you know that I have long had a challenging relationship with my mom. She loves Jesus so much. Yet she and I have vastly differing views on theology, especially on human sexuality. We have both said hurtful things to one another, those kinds of words and sentences that etch themselves onto your soul and years later still burn. What do we do in the aftermath of such pain, especially when we struggle to find healing words? For my mom, love has always been best expressed through food. About a year after Tristan and I got married, a year after the wedding my mom declined to attend, she came to our apartment in Brooklyn to cook a meal. A lavish meal for us and 10 of our closest friends. 13 extraordinary dishes, a crowded table of black bass with soy, ginger, and scallion, and a rich beef stew, these steamed spare ribs, and piles of garlicky greens infused with the char of the wok. And despite our differences, despite the hurt, God was with us there in the beauty. On the rare occasions when I visit my parents, I turn suddenly back into an unruly 13-year-old. Whatever arguments we get into, whatever tension surfaces, on the last day, I'll inevitably wake up to find my mom at her stove, preparing dumplings and stirring a pan of fried rice, packing them into containers so that when I'm at 30,000 feet, I get to plague my fellow passengers with the smell of Chinese food, and I get to delight myself with one last taste of her cooking. And despite our pain, despite the difficulties of our relationship, God is there in her fragrant provision. A few years ago when I was a farmhand at Princeton Seminary, my mom came to visit again, and I took her to the farm. And as a Chinese mom does, she instantly looked at the long beans I was growing, and she asked why I hadn't harvested them yet. I felt the sting of embarrassment. And then we went back to my apartment where I had stashed a chicken that I had helped to raise so that my mom and I could cook it together, encasing it in a shield of coarse salt and roasting it in traditional Chinese fashion. And despite our tensions, as we stood at the stove, not even bothering with utensils, just picking at the charred and salty skin and the tender and succulent meat, tasting of its goodness, God was there in the communion of the salt-baked chicken. Through the word, all things were made. Without the word, nothing was made that has been made, Scripture says. Feed my sheep, the word made flesh said to his disciples. In feeding and in being fed, we glimpse the goodness of a God who took on human form, who still meets us in the kitchen, and who makes otherwise impossible, challenging, but beautiful unity at the crowded divine table. Taste, friends, and see that God is good.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. So I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. So I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
I want to invite you to think about something. Throughout the life and teachings of Jesus, we never find Jesus telling anyone to worship him. Not once. And yet, what we do find Jesus inviting people to do throughout the Gospels is to follow. Over and over again, Jesus says, follow me. Now, I'm not here to knock any sense of worship, because worship certainly has its place, especially when we treat the word holistically rather than defining it as only singing. But as we consider all that's going on in the world, what do we think actually brings more good news into people's lives today? More worship of Jesus or more following of Jesus? Now, I recognize that can be a rather nuanced conversation, as those two ideas aren't mutually exclusive for one another. But again, one Jesus invites us to do, the other one he doesn't. And perhaps that's because, if we're honest, there's a way in which we can find ourselves wanting to worship Jesus or to believe certain ideas about Jesus, and it doesn't really involve any responsibility on our end. It allows us to stay at a comfortable distance and not really participate in the lifestyle and the ways of Jesus. It's the mindset Joseph Campbell describes, where we can default to an attitude where essentially we think, I'd rather worship someone because following them would just cost me too much. I mean, even after being a pastor for nearly 30 years, when people ask me questions about my faith, 99% of the time, they want me to answer questions about what ideas I currently believe about God. But understand, those questions rarely, if ever, have anything to do with how I live my life, how I follow the ways and teachings of Jesus. And I get it. I had the same mindset too for years, and it was and always is easier to claim and declare certain ideas about God and then try to convince ourselves that we're doing something noble in that without actually participating in actions that make a difference in people's lives. So friends, that's a tempting disconnect that we all have to become aware of, because when we don't, we miss the very heart of the story of Christmas, where ultimate love didn't exist as a mere idea to be debated and argued about, but love, capital L love, put on flesh, and love entered into the practicalities and complexities of everyday life. It refused to stay at a distance and be relegated to a nice idea or theory. Gospel writer John puts it this way in the scriptures: the word became flesh and blood and moved into the neighborhood. Ultimate love, grace, and generosity. God put on flesh and chose to be present and participate in our day-to-day experience. And so as followers of Jesus, when we think about celebrating Christmas, we're invited to think about what it looks like for you and I, not to stand at a distance and put the baby Jesus on a pedestal and make certain claims that we try to convert others to, but instead we're invited to think about what does it look like to actually follow this pattern of Jesus, where we can put flesh on ideas like love, grace, and generosity and live them out in our own homes, our own circles of influence, our own neighborhoods and towns. You see, that's why we keep coming back to this story of Christmas. That's why we keep gathering and repeating it and reminding one another about this sacred story, not to try to convince anyone of any theological claims, but to remind one another that our participation in this ongoing story is in fact the point. It's what brings hope to others. It's what love looks like. It's how we celebrate Emmanuel, God with us, and it's how we celebrate Christmas, by following, by participating. So Crosspointe, here's to us being reminded that Christmas isn't about merely standing in a distance and celebrating how 2,000 years ago love came to town, but it's about celebrating that in such a way that it catalyzes us to figure out how love comes to town today, through you and I, as we strive to not simply be observers, but where we practice being participants in the story of Christmas.
That's fine.